So in previous class, we have checked what is security, then what is SAP, then what are the different landscape of SAP, three-tier architecture of SAP, and then we have done with introduction of security and user creation. Now, single user creation is from SU01. Now we will check what is mass user creation, then what is central user administration, and what is authorization and role administration. You can do, you can create a user from SU01, means you need to create it one by one. What if you have repetitive activity, like if you want to assign 5 to 10 role to 100 users, so that time you cannot go to each user and assign same role again and again. So providing that kind of activity, like mass changes on users, like creating, assigning role, removing role, assigning group, profile, licensing data, default parameter, company address. So for that and log on, if you want to change the user types or if you want to change the user group, then in that case, we have one function called mass user maintenance. So the transaction is SU10. Okay, for single user it's SU01, for mass user it's SU10. So we can perform that mass changes from SU10 axis, SU10 transaction in our SAP system. So this is the these are the default screen. In SU01 also we had risk tab, logon tab, SNC, default parameter. So same here, you can see the SU10 screen also same as you are able to see our SU01. So same what other thing which are only specific to user. Like the first name, last name, email address, that cannot be common. Okay, the personal details that cannot be common. So we can change it, but we need to do it one by one. We cannot do the mass change. Let me show you the transaction as well. Let me share that screen. Are you able to see my SAP screen?
Yeah.
From here, we will add transaction. And so this is the SAP transaction. Here we have address data, authorization data, and login data. This is for searching user. And here you will get the list of users. So from authorization data, we will check what are the user. We start with T. Okay. Let's see how many users we have. Okay, we have entered 3 stars. So here we have 29 entries of users which are starting with.
Chaitali, sorry to interrupt you, but I am not able to see your SAP screen. Still on the PPT.
At the time, I can only share one screen. Now?
Yes, now I can see.
So this is the SU10 transaction. So here we can create, change, we can perform activity on single user one by one. Then we can delete mass user. We can log, unlock. If it is a CUA system, then you can globally log, unlock user. You can do the password reset, and if it is change role assignment. Then select all, and this is delete all. So these are the options. If you want to remove any entry, then just select the user and remove. The entry will get removed from SU10 transaction for the performing mass changes. When you want to add entries, you can copy paste, but it's better because when we do the copy paste, there is a chance of mistake. Only these many, what are the options you are having? These many entries you can only add, not more than that. So if you want to add more entries, go to logon pad. If you have user IDs directly, the copy here, from clipboard, and then you will get the what exactly user ID, complete data of the user. Here I am entering T star. Okay, and executing. So here also you have different options. So here you will get the details like what is first name, last name, complete name, logon name is complete name, then extension, department, company address, everything you will get. If you want to select all, click this and click on transfer. Means this 29 entries get transferred. If you want only like if you want this all the entries except this one, so you can select likewise. Okay. So here I have selected all, I have transferred all. So here 29 entries get available in our SU10. So now I can perform the mass changes on this. So I will go here. So from here I can change the company. So for 29 US I can change the company from Mass User Administration. So log on, I can change the user type. Here policy, then I can generate a disable password for them. You cannot set the unique password, but you can set regenerate, and I can change the group. Just note it down one thing, like whenever you are mentioning what exactly you want to change, here we need to click on change. Then only that field get changed. If you only just maintain user group, and if you not tick on change, user group will not get reflected on user data. So whatever fields you are filling here, like what exactly you want to change, you need to mark it as a change. Then only it get reflected to user. Okay.
Yeah.
Then we have here, we can change validity, valid from, valid to, then other details like account number and cost center. In default, you can change our printer and default settings. And in parameter, you can change the parameter. In role, you can assign or remove the roles. Loading screen. Okay. So here you can change. So here you can see change. Whatever you are changing, we need to mark it as a mark for change. Okay. If you want to change the printer output printer type, like if you want to print now, means whenever you are sending it for printing, print now, and post printing, if you want to delete that too, you can click over here, so that whenever user is sending any file to print, once it get printed, it get deleted from the student. So it's a best practice. Likewise, you can secure your data. No one else can do a print or check what exactly happened. So from here, you can add or remove. If you want to add parameter, click on add. If you want to remove any parameter from User, click on remove and add the parameter. Okay, mention the parameter name and value. It will get removed from all users. Here, if you want to change the role or add or remove the role, you can do. If you want to add reference user here, you can add here. We have change button. Okay. If you want to assign any profile and remove any profile, that can also you do. Same for the group and same for the license. So whatever details here we are changing, for this you will get one change log. So here we will try to assign new company. So assign this. Okay. And saving. Okay. So here we will get the pop-up like this changes to the reflect 29 users. So here we get the log. So address information, test user even has changed. Okay. In the address information, we had done the changes. So that's why we are getting in address information, we had done the changes. If you want to download that log, you just download it and you can check what exactly actions have happened. Whether it successfully happened or not. Here it's typed information screen, everything is green. And here also we are not, we don't have anything in error or warning. So whatever the changes which you have performed, that was successful. Okay, everything is in red. Sorry, everything is in green. So it's good. So likewise, you can perform now. Again, here from address detail. Here we have just entered T star and we get the user name. Here you can maintain user name directly, first name, last name, If you want to perform any activity on same company, user from same company, just give the company name, you will get the details and you can perform the action. So from this address data, you can perform the users or from authorization data as well. If you want to check any user who is having access to S201 T code, right? Here we will add S_T code. This is the authorization object for T code. So for whatever transaction you have access, you are getting it from S_T code. Okay. Now we will run it. It's like the same S201. You can find what exactly users you want, and accordingly you will get that. So here we have 108 users who are having access to S201. If you want to perform action on these users, you can directly perform. Okay. You can select, or if you want like only want to perform action on some logon user type, you can also mention the user type over here. If you want to select like what are the users which are in log status, directly take user with admin log, yes. Okay. And then you can directly get the list and you can unlock them if you want. As per your activity, you can perform. Any doubt over here?
Not yet.
So same here, I mention everything theoretical, what exactly we can change, what need to be. So first we need to select the user if you want to create the user creation has remained. We have covered the user change. First deletion also, you need to select the user and above we have deletion tab. Click on delete, all the user will get deleted. For lock unlock, same, you can do that. For user creation. What if you want to create some users? So here we will give okay, so we will create these two users. So here you need to go to create, where you will give the group name. So our group is when we have created. Okay. Should I go to security admin? Reset. Here in address data, you can only assign the company because we are performing changes on mass user, not an any individual user. Okay. So then default here, what exactly language you want to maintain? English. So I'm maintaining English over here. I don't have any printer, so I'm not maintaining it. Parameter if you want to maintain anything, or role if you want to add, or profile. Let me add SAP name. Save it. Here the user has created, password has set to this, SAP new profile has assigned. Okay, you can see what action we have performed. So login date of user has changed, password. So whatever action you have performed, you will get the log for that. And now, if you want to maintain the username properly, like department, function, mail ID, click on single, click on user. Here you can maintain. So default it takes last name as a username as the last name. Last name it will get the ID of user ID. Here, if you want to add anything, add 1, 2, 3, department, test, function test, and email address which we exactly want to maintain. This and same for another user. From here also you can change the password if you want. Go here and generate in environment. So doing one by one, you can perform. Same here, we will maintain something. Security. If you want to maintain the method, email or remote mail, maintain the remote mail. Unless you maintain the method, you cannot send a mail from SAP. It is necessary to maintain the method. So here, so these users are get created. Okay. So now, if you want to create, if you want to log these users, if you can log, user will get logged. Now you are getting 220. So as per time you are getting entry. Okay. So on this time you have performed this activity and this time you have performed. Okay. So log and log you have performed. If you want to like password reset, generate, again you can generate the password, and if you want to delete this, select. No need to select it or get directly also deleted. So user has get deleted. Again, go to change. Now it's 50. Previously, we have selected the site not yet. Now you can see user deleted. So likewise, we can perform the action.
Yeah.
So any doubt?
No, that time.
The same check. Who has deleted that users? From change log, go to SIM, change log for the user, for user. That was already test complete. With this user, here you can see the key code. From here we can check from which key code the user get created or user get what action get performed from which key code. If you perform from SU01, then you will get SU01. If it's like mass change, then you will get say 10. And if you are assigned any role from a PFCT, then you in that case you will get PFCG over here. So this is a change document. The same thing I mentioned, what are the steps you can check and you can execute, means you can do it by your own. So mass change example, same way I get taken here P test O star, I have taken test star, P star. So likewise, once we can select the user from here. Here, this is the old system. That's why we only have two, like authorization data, address data, and authorization data. In our system is latest one. Let me show again. This is our export system. Here we have logon data as well. We have another filter. If you want to check what are the users since 90 days, they are not logged, maintain or here, and you can directly execute. You will get that list and you can perform action if you want to directly log them. If the user has not logged in from 90 days, take this list, select that, and log them. Because we don't standard we check whether the user has logged from 60 days or not. If it is not logged 60 days, then we can ask the proper data protection administrator. So who's responsible, like team leader or the managers, that whether we can log the user or not. And if still we don't get from mostly from 90 days, we directly deactivate. So here we can directly select transfer and log them. Don't delete, just log. Okay. So here from here you can perform that activity as well. So no need to check extract the user details from SCIM, then you add over here. So here also you have some options from where you can directly get the list of users for performing mass changes. The screenshot in my PPT for old system, that's why you only can see two. Now for in F2 we have more options. So this is still for a smash change. Any doubt over here? Can we move to next topic?
Yes.
Okay. So next is central user administration. So we are seeing that we can create one single user from SU01. We can perform mass changes from SU10. What if you have hundreds of systems in your landscape, and it means if you want to create one user in 100 system, then what? It is not an easy task. You need to log into 100 systems. You need to provide the same step again and again. So it's a repetitive task. So for doing the administration for the 100 system centrally, there is a one tool called Central User Administration. So from that, you can monitor what exactly role has and you can keep your system consistent. Like if you want to create one user in 100 system, obviously there is a chance of human error. Like maybe spacing first name, last name, maybe they just forgot to add the validity. So our user master will become inconsistent throughout all the system. So keeping everything properly means if I have my name Chaitali in one system, it should be Chaitali in all other systems. So for validating, if you want to validate, then also you need to log into 100 systems and then you need to validate. So that is also not easy. So for doing these things centrally, we have system functionality called central user administration. So from here, you can perform the action from single system on all the 100 systems, whatever the systems which are available in your landscape. For that central system is called CUA, and for two other system we call it as the child system. We set up it through data get changed to from central to child system through RFC. Okay, like, and it is not only like systems. If you have multiple clients in one system and if you want to do the user administration, so in that case also CUA will help you. It will take that it will consider that single client as a system. Okay, so from like that perspective also it's easy to do the administration. Okay. So in the how to and check whether this system is CUA or not. So whenever you go to SU01, you can see option of system here. Okay, are you able to see before role we have system. When if your system is central user administration system, you can see the system name in your CUA system. Else you cannot. That means it is a child system or you don't have CUA in your system. Here you can perform, like you can select the system on which you want to change. Like if you want to create the user in this system, you can select like what role you want to assign in this system, directly you can assign. Okay.
Okay.
So here if you want to lock unlock also we can do. Here we have option of lock, globally unlock. And if it is our single system, you only have option of lock and lock. This is the CUA, that's why we are getting global lock. Means at the time you can lock the user in your all the system. Same like password generation. If you want to generate password in all system, you can generate. And if you want to generate password only to specific system, then you can go to that system and generate. That functionality, what exactly you want to, you can set it from the different parameters. This is the blog from where what are the steps of maintaining CU administration installation of CU is available. How to make CUA enable in your system configuration. So you can check the configuration steps from here if you want. I can open and then we can go. Do you want to go by yourself or do you want me to take this?
Yes, I think possibly you can just brief what exactly it is, then we can go through it and come with the question.
Okay. I'm opening it. Actually, that step were so many. That's why I'm not added it
Okay.
here.
Yeah, I think it's okay then. I'll
No,
go
no,
through
I
it.
am opening it.
Yeah.
Just saying that that. So these are the user for client one, client two. Here we need to assign the roles as well. So any user cannot perform the action of central user. That user should have access to perform the central user administration. So these are the standard roles for central user administration. So these three roles need to be added in central system, means our
Mhm.
CA system, and these two roles like CUA, DC user, CUA client. So client role need to add in our child system. Okay. So as per that, as per this, we will create our user. Then these two user has created. Then we will go to SM59 and then we will create the RFC connection. So the steps are given over here how to create the RFC
Mhm.
connection. So we need to create the RFC destination. What is the type of connection? Like R3 is for ABAP. Sorry, 3 is for ABAP connection type 3. So you can
Mhm.
connect, create RFC with type 3. So let me open the 59. Creation of RFC is task of basis, not a security. Okay.
Okay.
Here we have different types of RFCs. Like this is the transaction for configuring RFC connection, and for communicating setting any communication into ABAP system, we use the ABAP connection, that is type of 3. If it is their HTTP, then in case of you want your data to be moved on server, right? So in that it will be our HTTP and HTTPS connection. Here you can see HTTP and HTTPS, both the connection has maintained over here. Then it's internal communication, then you can use the I. If it is a logical system, then you can use TCP/IP and this ABAP X. So mostly we use ABAP connection because we need to, if you want to set up any connection, system connection, if you want to do the role comparison between production and development system, in that we need R3, sorry, 3, RFC with type 3. So here we will set up one. Let's open in, check how it is. Okay. Is for A4H system. It is ABAP connection. Dimension type. They have given the technical details like it's load balancing server or not. No, it's not load balancing. Okay. I think it is calling self. So this is calling self system. Hmm. That was calling to this H4 system only. That's why the target hook was not there. So whenever we are creating, we need to provide target hooks to which system we are calling. Okay.
Mhm.
To give the host details and instance number, then IP address, a database IP address. You can get from that system details over there. And here, whatever user we have created for RFC and communication, we need to maintain it over here. So this user for changing the data for RFC communication. So we are maintaining it here, and we have saved the password. So this is the client and LAN. Okay. So likewise, we will maintain the means basis team will maintain the details. Means they will create the RFC connection. So now our RFC connection has created. We need to create the logical system. System also should know what is the name. Like you may have in one system you may have multiple clients. So we need to
Mhm.
call that client properly. Like 0001 and these are the default client. Okay. Sorry, 001 and 000. These are the default client. We don't want to do any central user administration over there because that is for basis. Upgrade and all, they will use that. For our purpose, we don't need. So you need to be very whenever you're setting, you need to be very particular. So which system to which client you want to change. So that's why we need to create the logical system to properly call that system. So here in BD for 54, you can create the logical system name. Mostly same in SC24, sorry, in SC4, what exactly you are having. So it is mostly the same logical system name. This is our ECC client 820 for our child system, and it is ECC 850. Okay, so these two systems are there. Any doubt?
No.
Then we have assigning that logical system to client. SC4 we are assigning. Logical system has been assigned.
So this task is always done by base system.
Yeah. These are the base
Okay.
systems.
Okay.
RSC connection, client administration, these are basics. Don't do this. Mostly that create module also they can do. But we can also do it. Mostly we don't have access to like BD transaction.
Okay.
So now we need to create the model for central user administration. So here from BD64 we can you just need to maintain like ZCA and the model get created. And here you have again what exactly means you can transfer the data and methods. Client server details you can give sender and receiver, like this is our central system and this is our client child system. So sender will be central and receiver will be our child system. Okay. Then we can once we generate, we need to generate the distribution, means generate that model. Okay. Now the distribute log. So whenever we set up any CA system, we need to make sure that all the users are consistent. You have made one system at the center, unless and until you don't have the data of child system, how would you know whether that user is available in child or not? So whenever we are adding any system to our CUA, we need to merge that data from child system to CUA system. So it will get moved from here. Like now we are going to CUA, this is SCUA transaction. Here again we will add what exactly model name we are added over previously in BD64. And now here we need to add what are the systems. So BD64 we need to maintain the first model, and now we will add the recipient system over here. Sending system is this. We will add the recipient system again here, like it's 820. So we have added it. See the log also, it gets added. And from here you can share the details to maintain parameters. So data, once you do this, the data, you can start the data sharing, and before that also you can do the parameter setting. So now we have added a system to central user administration. So now you need to decide what things you want to do as central, what things you want to do as a local. It is not necessary. It is not necessary that you should do everything as a central. You can do something as a local as well. Like if you want to do the password reset, there is no need to go to the central system. You can do from your child system as well. So these are the parameters. Okay. Here you have global, local, proposal, redistributor, everywhere. Okay. So here in global, so means changes, if you maintain global radio button yes or yes, means you can only do the changes from our global system only, not from local. So here from mass change, first name, last name, you can maintain from local as well. Here proposal means as per what exactly you want. And redistribute means in global case, your CUA system will be sender and your child system will be receiver. If you want to redistribute data, like maintain, like create a user in any system, like if I created user in central child system, then also it get moved to your central. So that is redistribution of data. Then in redistribution, you can perform action in any system. System will get in sync. Okay. Once you click like global user creation, you cannot do it from center. Okay, you need to go to global local CUA system and
CUA system.
yeah. So from these kind of things, you can control, like these are the parameters, you can control it from here, what you want to keep center, what you want to keep local.
Mhm.
So here, here we have this report for syncing of the company address. As you know, we need to provide the company address whenever we are creating users. So please will get username, and as per that, the company address will get moved. Here we can verify whether if the system get added or not. So you can go to SU01 to the central system, and if you are getting the system tab and system name, means your CUS, this system is your CUS system. In normal SU01, you will not get this system tab because we are creating user in that system only. In case of
Yeah.
CUA, you need to select in which system you want to create the user. So you need to provide that system name over here, and from role name you can assign. From role tab you can assign the role. Okay.
Okay.
Password you can send it means local and global. It is not we usually not keep password as a central. We keep it as a local system. Main system you can do it. Okay. So now here you can see this role has assigned in this system. This role has assigned in this. So from here we can maintain give the system name and respective role name. So this is from CUA perspective. And seeing whenever we are performing, we will get the log of that CUA log. Okay. So once we run the program, we can see the details. Program we here like this. Yeah, then the things and then. If you so these are the three courses for CUA. Just go through that steps.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You know if you have any doubt. And you can check this one by one code in our SAP system and check what exactly like CUA is for distribution model this transaction. In SCUM you will change centrally to what parameters you want to maintain central child. You can maintain it from there. SCUL is for logs and SCUG is for data transfer or synchronization. So user we will create only from SU01 and SU10. So for in case of CUA we don't have any new code. T code will remain same. So these are the additional T code to check configure CUA and check the logs and data transfer. Okay.
Yeah.
So next now we will go to mostly the critical one, authorization checks, and what is authorization check get performed whenever any user log into system. So what is authorization? So whenever we perform any authorization, whenever we run any transaction to in SAP system, the system will check whether the entry is available in TSPC table or not. Whether it's whatever you are run, it is transaction or not. If yes, it's a transaction, then system again perform whether the transaction is locked or not. So system check whether the transaction is locked or not. If it is locked, system will not allow you to run the transaction. If it is not locked, then only you can run that. Means get passed. And now you have run the transaction. It will check whether it available in your user profile. Means whether you have access to that or not. If you have access, then it will get run. Means you can execute. And now it check whether you have display or change access. Accordingly, you will get display. Means whenever you run the anything in fraction of second, these many authorization check get performed in background. Means system check whether transaction is available or not, whether it's locked or unlocked, it's available for you or not. Means you have access or not. You know what are the authorization object for which you have access. So this is the sequence, what exactly getting checked when you run any transaction in your SAP system. So you just know, make sure these you will get asked for what is the table to check transaction. From where you can check the T code is locked or not, 201. So from here you can check. These are important points you need to aware, and it also important as per your interview. Interviewer may you ask you these things. So now the authority check. So whenever we are running, like every transaction is nothing but a report. It's a program. Okay. So whenever we are running that, all the steps of that program get run. So when and where the authorization object gets it. In the program, if authority check has given in under authority check, if any authorization object has mentioned, in that case, the authorization object will get called. Like SM30, we are in SM30, system will check in SM30 what exactly below the line we need to check. So in a program, if you have authority check, then SW now will get checked. Okay. So what exactly we add in our role? So our now we have checked what is P core, what is authorization. Now you know what is P core, what is authorization object, right?
Yeah.
So our authorization object contain activity and actual field. So what exactly you want to perform, whether it's company, it's any plant or any cost center. So like it's for this cost center, what activity you want to perform. So authorization object contain that level of data. Okay. Transaction contain access to report and reported program, and authorization object contain what exactly you need to see in that, what action you need to perform in that. So now comes the role, how you will provide access to users. So we cannot assign any authorization object or key code directly to the user, right? So we need to be aware what exactly you want. Like if you want assign a zero, you will assign a zero, then where you will maintain the values, what exactly you want to say. So from the value, what exactly you want to show to user, or what exact access user needs to perform his day-to-day activities. We user need one role, means we can provide access to user from role. So what is role? Role is a combination of your transaction, authorization object, and user assignment. In PFCG, you check that you have transaction tab, you have authorization object, and you have user. So first you will add transaction to user, then authorization object will get fetched. You will maintain the authorization object, and then once a role is created, you can assign that role to user. Okay.
Yes.
So this is the role, but we also have profile. So one role is may assign to multiple profile. So for one role we may have multiple profile because we have restriction like one role only contain 170 authorization object. Sorry, one profile contain 170 authorization object. So our role may have thousands of authorization objects. So for every 130, 170 authorization object, system will create one profile automatically. You don't need to create, you just need to generate that role. Then the data will get fetched directly, means the system directly distribute that. Then our authorization object is means contain what exactly restriction on which field we want to keep. Okay. So authorization object is mechanism used to inspect current user privileges for specific data selection or activity within a program. So from authorization object is very much important because then from there only the user can see what complete data. You can restrict the access of data from authorization object only. Okay. So here the key code for 3 years. So this is the SUS for SU24. From where we can maintain check for any key code authorization check. So you have one authorization key code, but sorry, you have one key code, and how to check what are the authorization objects are getting fetched for that key code or not. If you want to check. System. So from where you can got to know what is the relationship between authorization object and your T code. So for checking that, you can go to SU24. You can give any transaction name. Okay, it's K01. So we don't have client administration. From HU24, you can check what are the authorization objects. So for this SCC code, these are the authorization objects are available. So these are going to check. Here we have default. So default, these two are going to check. Let me apply filter on this. Okay. So here it will check what are the default values you are maintaining. Okay. Whether the default value is maintained or not. So whenever you run SCC4, you need to have access to this table group. So it's a client administration means T000 table will get called. So you need to have access to that table group and activity. So this is a change transaction. So if you want to only display, then you can maintain display. And for basis, we need to provide change, create, change, and display with a group as SS. So this is the complete value we are maintaining. So whenever we are going to run SCC4, then these many authorization objects are getting checked. And for this, we have maintained, for establish, we have maintained the value. So here you can check the check indicator. Here check means these authorization are objects are going to check. And here default status means what are the default values as mentioned. Whenever you add this T code to role, so these authorization object with this value get pulled to your role. If you want to maintain, if you want to skip, your client is requesting that they don't want access of S underscore develop while this uh, whenever they running SCC4, they want to skip this S underscore develop. So go to check indicator, mark it as a do not check.
Okay.
So you can change the sequence of authorization object, or you can add any additional authorization objects if you get checked whenever we are running SC4 transaction. This is SU24 contain what exactly getting checked, what values are available by default, and what additional check indicator you want to maintain for this ticket. These are the authorization objects available for SCC4. So means it is getting going to check whenever we are running our SCC4 ticket.
Okay, so you just mentioned that we can change the sequence. So
Means
how?
the check whether it's going to which going to check, not the sequence.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
only
okay.
the
Yeah.
authorization you want to keep as a
Yeah.
yes, check yes or no.
Yes or no? Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So this is also basic, like it is a client administration. So from one client you can create others. So we need to have this cross client maintenance table access. Then only you can create a new client from your previous existing client. If you don't have cross client maintenance in SW CLI, you cannot create a client or you cannot perform any mass changes from other clients.
No.
So the screen I mentioned was these things this why authorization check place or default value in ESOBT. So whatever this is the transaction to check, and this is the table which contain the values. ESOB X underscore C,
Underscore
ESOB
C.
X underscore C. These are the key code which holds the value for this SU24. Later, I will explain you what is SU22, SU24. Once you get familiar with this, then it will be easy for you to grab that what is exactly. So underscore C means customer table. If it is only USOBT means it's a SAP table. Underscore C means customer table. Like I have mentioned that you can disable any authorization check or add any. So that is not a standard. We are maintaining it for as per our client's requirement. So that will come in underscore C table.
Customizable.
Yeah.
Okay.
I means here why means you have this authorization. So this is a flow of your authorization. So we have user have master record, index roles, user contain roles and profile. So roles are connected to profile. Profile actually holds our data means authorization object. And authorization object has their different fields like activity, org value, percentage, what exactly SAP functionality that is available through authorization object. So this is the
Mhm.
complete how data is available to user. For Fury, you need to be aware like what exactly flow of ECC. Then only you can check what exactly available in S4 means in Fury. You need to be aware because that two are very different concepts. Means the Fury is advanced concept. So you need to be very clear on this. So what is available in what? Okay.
Mhm. Okay.
Because in case of Fury, you will get some additional fields as well. So here terminology, what we call it is authorization check means what exactly it's going to check. Here we have activity. Activity means what exactly you want to, whether you want to see, you want to transport, you want to import, if you want to
Mhm.
download, if you want to delete. So that things are getting, you can provide it from activity field, like user creation. So creation from one activity, if you want to delete, then deletion. Like for user administration, we provide full access to SC01 and service desk, who is going to only do the password reset and user unlock. So to
Mhm.
that user, we cannot provide the create and change access. They just
Yeah.
need access for user lock unlock and password reset. Means unlock and password reset. So we will just provide the specific activity on that particular user group. If you like, if you only want your service desk to be perform password reset or user unlock activity for any particular group of user, like for user. And if you have group in your SUGR, which we assign in SU01, so you can only
Mhm.
maintain that, like change password reset and user unlock activity on that particular set of group, not any other. So
Okay.
that is we can restrict. Okay, so this is a different thing. Means this is the level of security we can maintain.
Mhm.
So in case of it is S taboo, this is going to check in our authorization here, authority check. It was going to check. So here we have activity for this and describe. It here describe means the complete group, not only single table. It is only giving SC. So in SC we have thousands of tables we have in SC. SCRSS. So go to SC16. This is the table TWAP to check what is the connection, so mapping of authorization class and your table name. If you enter what is 000 client administration table, which is available in auth group SS. Okay. And if you want to check what are the table under SS, just maintain SS. In auth group, it's more than 500. Here we have limit of 500. Remove group of 532. So whenever you are assigning s underscore develop with 03 or 02 SS, means you are ultimately giving access for these 532 tables to user.
Mhm.
If you don't
Yeah.
want in the SW name for particular table, you can assign it from there. So our tables are also available in SS. In our day when I told you basic security previously, that was same. So here you can see our AGR tables. So our tables are available. AGR means role. So all the role tables are available under basis also. Okay. Complete AGR is available. For basis we have SS and SC classes. So these two contain basis related. So whenever we are creating any role with SW disk, we need to make sure for end user we are not providing access to SS and SC object to user end user, because they should not have access to check these details like basis table. They should not have access to check these details. So that's why we will never provide. So it's a critical combination as per audit. End user should only basis people should have access to basis to people. Security people should have security. Finance should have finance. Not any cross. Like if I am basis finance people, I should not have access to basis people. Or if I am an end user, I should not have access to basis or security people. So this is from here we can recreate, assign. So now how system check whether if we have access and not have, if we have partial access, how system provide the like message. If you have proper like in your SCC code transaction, this 03 and SCC is going to check, and if you have access to that in trace, it shows the message is 0, means user has significant correct authorization to perform this activity. Trace from trace you can check what exactly authorization are getting checked in background. You can completely check the sequence of authorization object getting called one by one with values. Okay, so 0 means you have full authorization. 4 means you have access for like you have access for rest of this activity also available, but you don't have access to access. You have access to any other table group, maybe GMM. Means you have to access to authorization group and field, but you don't have access to this particular table. So in that case, you will get like 04. System will give error as a 04 in trace. Means RC is equal to 4. Means you have access to authorization object, but not to the particular value. Okay. In case of 12, means user itself don't have access to establish. So so these are the things from where you can check whether it's user has access or not, or what exactly, or only the value. Okay. So these three are the combination 0, 4, and 12. Okay, Amol, do you want me to move further, or you just want to stop today and do the practical?
I think we can go further.
Okay. So
Like
here next is
on the basis of previous topic, like, do you want me to perform some specific tasks?
user creation. I have asked you to perform like
Yes.
different 5 types of user. Just create user from reference user, and in the add a user in reference tab of SC0 and create that. And also I asked you to create one role. So now I have created the proper PPT because that day I just told you to check whether you are able to create or not. Okay. So now
Yes.
we will check what are the exactly PFCG. How we can create the role, what is the flow. So we can create the role from TFCG transaction. Here we have different types of option to add, like from authorization, role menu, you can add the transactions, and audit services, or ABAP related query, you can add from menu. Then we have authorization that I will open. System, I will show you. You can refer the PPT when you are doing the practice.
Yes.
I will show you from system. You may see the difference in screenshot and our actual system. So this is our PFCG C code. So from here, it's a role admin maintenance. So from here, you can create single role, you can create composite role, you can display, change. Okay. This is for copy, delete, transport, information, and this is for transaction. Okay, where to use it in this cancel. And here from mode, you have option to create, change, or download role, upload role. Like if you have 5 roles which you need in every system, and there is no change, so you can download it from one system and you just upload it to other 4. And it is not necessary that you just need to again create same step performing all 4 systems. You can download it one and you can upload it.
Okay.
Okay, like only in development. In case of production, we don't do the upload download. If it is 4 development system and if you need, so download it from one development, upload it to other 4, and then add it to transport for moving it to our quality and production system. Okay. said that this the upload and download access also we need to restrict from our authorization objects. Okay.
Okay.
Means in production, if you are giving change access of PHP, don't give access of upload download. So you need to restrict that. So I want you to create one role like once we done with this we complete PFCG create role in which you for one for development and for production. In PFCG in production you should have only specific access like display, not upload, not download, like that. Okay.
Okay.
So now we will create one test. Here we want to create. That's why we are clicking on single create role. Okay. So here we have description. From here you can give this short description. Then what exactly long to like whether it's for any particular company code, on the what date you have created, what date you are changing. It's better to keep a log of everything. Like as per this ticket number, I have added these values. Like if it is any XYZ ticket, and if you are maintaining any org value to this, you can maintain that as per this ticket on this date. This org value has maintained. So whenever any other person is checking role in future, they may aware that yes, as per this ticket, this role has been changed.
Okay.
From change document, we cannot identify from which ticket it will get changed. We can
Mm-hmm.
say who has changed. So for checking,
Yeah.
you can mention the ticket number or other information you want here, so that our role text itself is self-explanatory on which date, on as well which ticket you had added what. It is not
Yes.
that you cannot mention everything, but in short, like if it is our related thing, if it is in a few transaction you added, you can mention it there. Okay, so now save it. So from here you have option to create folder. So whatever you are going to add in menu, user will see the same thing
Mhm.
in its menu whenever we log in. So this is a menu of user. Okay.
Mhm.
So if you want to only, yeah, this is the menu for best user, and this is favorite transaction maintain for this. If you want to frequently use transaction, you can, if you want to, you can add it over here. And from menu, our row PFCG role menu, we can more restrict this or we can manage this. Okay. So here this folder has created authorization, user role and authorization, and that we have these things. Likewise, from your role, you can mention like if it is a transaction. Now we need to go to change because we have created. If you want to create like basis, if you want adding any basis transaction, you can maintain it basis over here. Select the folder, add the transaction. SCC4. SCC4 is the basis transaction. You are properly adding it to that.
Mhm.
Here it is done. So if it is any other finance, you can again create one folder. It is not as per module, as per your client requirement. If it is a buyer transaction, create folder for buyer. It is purchaser, then create for purchaser. So likewise, you
Okay.
can like design menu for user. Okay. If you
Okay.
directly want to add this, directly go to role menu, add what are the transaction you want to add. B64 where we will add our CA transaction to this. CA transaction. Okay. So this is for transaction. If you want anything else apart from transaction, it is not like only we can perform something in the transaction. There are other system as well. Like you can provide access for report, BPS application, web printer application. For Fury, you can also here we have catalog and group and site. For BW, you can provide access to any specific URL.
Okay.
If you want to provide access to any specific URL to user, you can add it, and from his menu, he directly access that generic web URL. Okay. So from PFC, it is not only we are just providing access to key codes, we can also provide these other things as well. Okay. With, access to any URL, PW access like query, and any
Mhm.
application level. Then in query, we can assign catalog and group. and other, like these many things we can do from transaction. If you want to select, remove any added entry, select this and click on remove. Now you're only able to see the description of transaction, not exactly transaction name. So here you have, yeah, switch to technical names. Okay. Once you click on this, you will see the technical names. One by one, you can check and check the object what it is, but if you want to see the technical name, because for us, we just know the transaction name, not the description. It will be difficult for us when to know the descriptions of other transactions, like finance related transactions. And like it, because we are adding T code, not the description. So for it's us to better to keep it on transaction technical names on. Now you can also see the technical name and description. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
You want to print statistic wise information, like here we have, if you want to add menu from any other role, then also you can add SAP role or looker role, you can copy it. For other roles also you can do. Area menu, SAP standard menu also you can copy. So area menu, these are the things which you are directly getting SAP menus. So you can do that as well. You can directly select user and you can add it from there. Different option you are having from, like from SAP menu. So this is a menu of SAP, like Office, what exactly you want to add, cross application. From here, this is the transaction menu. Okay? Like if you want to add audit management. Okay. If you select this one, these two will be there. You can only select this, like audit management, then this T code will get added. You can select this from this tree or you can directly add it from T code.
Okay.
So let's see what exactly we do in additional. Here we can create a read empty folder, transport node, display document. So like this activity we can do it from here. So now we have added T4 workflow. We don't do usually anything. It's for that it's WP related things. We usually don't do. So now we will change it authorization data. So here we have two options. Change mode, whenever we are creating change, you can directly go to the change and do this thing, or go to export mode and check what are the options. Okay, first we will generate this and then I will show you how to export, what is the translation. We'll add any more transaction here. So once we generate, it will become green. Now go to authorization tab. So here, if you go to export mode, let's see what is happening. We have three options. Okay? Delete and replace profile and authorization. Edit old status, and merge with new data. If you do the edit old status, it will not fetch the authorization object for PFCG. If you do read old status and merge with new data, means it will roll in the role, all the authorization object related to PFCG will get fetched. This is difference. Okay. Now it is asking us for the plant. So this plant is the org value, where it's asking for the plant version. So I'm checking the current plant to save it. So org value you can give it from here. Okay. We can directly maintain, means if your authorization object is having so many org values. So every time you don't need to mention org value from here. So whenever it's org value, maintain it from here only. Okay. If you maintain from authorization object, so the linkage between this and this get closed.
Okay.
So now these are the authorization class. We have these many transactions. Here you can see we have added a PFCG, that's where status is updated. Okay. And these are the old. Means previously which we added authorization objects are available. Let's see what are the once post adding PFCG here these authorization object get added new as user AGR. So this is these are the new authorization object which get added when we added the PFCG means with the new transaction these new authorization object are get added. So whenever we are adding any new transaction to your existing role, so you will get to know that what are the authorization object get added to the role from this new.
Okay.
Like the SW name is the old one. PFCG we have added this. So you will just check the values for this and maintain for this. No need to go to all the authorization object and check whenever we are adding any single tick. So system will give you notification means show you what are the new authorization object for that particular tick. So here we have actions, what actions we can perform, create change. AGR means role check. Okay, AGR means role, user means user. So PFCG we added, that's where it's S underscore user underscore AGR. Here we can add the role name directly. If you want to restrict access to any G ticker, 0, then you can do it. Means role user with this role can only perform change create action on G star role, not any SAP or any other role.
Okay.
We can restrict this thing from here.
So currently here the status of like top 3 I can say as green, and
We
now
have
rest,
maintained the values.
yes. So actually when I was creating a single role, and I was like try to change the activity which I wanted to give like for user creation. So every time I was entering the new what we can say this
Instance.
instance, yeah. So instance was getting created every after enter.
Because this is just here you can see the standard. Okay.
Okay.
If you this is the in PFCG display value is by default for this PFCG transaction. If you delete this and if you maintain it to change, then the standard instance will get deactivated and your custom will remain. Okay, this get deactivated because this is a standard value available for PFCG in SU24.
Okay.
And you are removing that and you are creating, adding your own. So it will be your new thing. The standard is disabled.
Okay.
That's the
So
way standard will disabled.
okay. So if in this activity, if I give access to like all 2-3 access per like permissions, 2-3 activities I enable, then how many instances will be created?
Only one instance, the standard instance will get deactivated, other will be released.
Okay.
So what is exactly the standard combination? If you are doing changes in that combination get deactivated, you will get your new authorization.
Okay.
This is for us from authorization object also you can restrict. Here you can do the authorization object. Okay.
Hi, this is Mahesh. I have one doubt here. So we are assigned 4 or 5 transaction codes, right, for this profile. So if you want to restrict, like you given PFCG and SEC4, so if you want to restrict the access for PFCG and SC4, like we want to give only display or view option only. How can we change in the while creating with the multiple T codes?
Here we have activity fee, ACTVT. From here we can say what exactly you want to provide. So here PFCG, so you can check what is authorization object for which transaction from SU24. So now you know this S underscore user is for PFCG. So if you want to restrict change access for PFCG, to remove this change, keep only display. You need to aware what are the authorization objects for which T code. From SU24 you can check that and accordingly you can maintain the value. If I may want to only maintain display access for PFCG, then I will remove the complete change. And I will keep only display. So in this my PFCG will become display.
Okay.
And if you want same role, if you want your HCC code should be changed. So whatever the authorization object for SCC code, you need to maintain the activity change in that authorization object. Getting?
Okay, got it.
So this is yellow. We have only maintain activity. We have not added this thing. So that's why it is in yellow. If you maintain value for this, it will become green. So here I wouldn't want to restrict this display. So I want to just see all the authorization objects and dates and star value. Okay.
So every time we
So
are creating, yeah, Mahesh, please continue.
yeah, so maintaining the activity, or I mean whatever. Can you please open this? Previously you opened, right? Uh, Authorization PFCG related groups.
Okay. So
No. Here, from here only. S underscore you authorization object in here. You change the values, right? Activity values for
yes.
PFCG.
Hmm.
Yeah. So maintaining this activity group and activity. So the user going to give the restrictions, like we are creating the profile. I mean, a PFC role. So they will give the details of this, or we need to initiate and we need to give the access in the real time scenario.
No, whenever we get requirement for both cases, they have in specific restrictions. Then they provide, like they will give us the scenario, like which we have mentioned for service desk. So for service desk user, we just want a password is second user enough, not any other access. Okay, we will create it.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
And every time we are creating role, like these are the classes have been created. So all the classes we need to go and maintain, like activity, object, and everything we need to maintain. Then only it is we can say as if the role has been created.
Yeah, because we just adding transaction is not giving a restriction. Our work is on authorization object level. What exactly data? Because it's a data privacy.
Yeah.
We provide every access, like display access to every data, HR data. Means in case of HR, like it is a role, that's why I have provided change access. Okay, display access to role. It is not any harm to if user has display access to role, like basis user has display access to role. It is, means not, that is not any harm. But if you are providing end user access of HR data display, then it is a because HR
Yeah.
make HR contain our like Aadhaar card, password, your address data, your contact
Yes,
details,
yes. All
bank details.
PII. Yeah.
In that case, you cannot provide display as well. So it's depend what kind of data you want to show to user and what is whether the data is critical or not. So in HR, in case of HR, don't provide display as well.
Yeah.
In case of HR, we need to provide the negative authorization. Okay, so here we are providing that is the direct authorization. In case of HR, like your manager, and if you want to approve leave for your teammates, in same case, you should not have access of approving your own leave.
Yes.
So likewise, approve all but not yours. So means it is a negative authorization.
Okay.
So we have provided access of SU01, so PFCG only for SD users. So here we will check security policy. We can disable it directly. I'm disabling. I don't want anything to be checked over here. AGR SU01, that's why it's giving AGR means we can assign role. So I don't want everything to do anything in the role. I'm disabling it, or you can provide display access. Okay. You can just keep a display or you can disable. So, enter include assign means assign access. Here we have disabled the standard one. So everything can now check what are the role available for the user.
Okay.
The authorization object. It's okay. They can check. I can provide the display access to them. If you want to restrict, then just directly deactivate this authorization. Here full access means all the authorization.
Yeah.
Now here we have groups. Okay. So this is exact here. From here only we can restrict the authorization for as user group means on user level. So here we don't want user to create. We just want lock unlock and display. Sorry, not delete. Lock unlock. Okay. So we will provide this password reset will go from lock only.
Mhm.
So here, save it. And here class means our SCGL user. Okay. So here we have user group. If you want this SD row for basis, then only keep the basis. If you want SD for all every pass user password reset, just maintain star over here. Then SD team can reset or unlock user for all the users in the system. Okay. And if you want to restrict, like if you don't want to use it to keep check the system user password and this password user reset and user unlock, then you can provide maintain that authorization of the group in range. How to do that? Let's say we don't have service. Okay, super user. Okay. So first I will provide this value to GR. Then I will go here. I want to provide all but not the super user group.
Mhm.
So I will put this as a previous, then I will put next value for super and here restart. Okay, still restart. So now the SD user will have access of password reset on user unlock for all users except the user of super user group. Now in profile, you don't want anything, deactivate it is for profile related in SAP or SAP new. SAS for system specific assessment is for central user administration. So in case of center, this is going to check and deactivating this. So now this is our role for our keep it as open. So in case of HR, along with activity, you need to check other functional as well. This is delete is for this, delete this is for display, and get input item. Now this after this role, we can do password reset of any user. Let's try to create any user for password reset. Okay. Maybe some authorization we need to add additionally, but we are
Mhm.
just initial check whether it is able to open this transaction code or not. Assign, we will assign this group user. Role name is login. So in if we are restricting most of authorization, it's better to do one round of unit testing by your own. Because sometimes users just check whether they are able to perform the action or not. They will never check whether what exactly restrictions we have properly or not. So here you can see we have added the SU01 from menu. So GSD it is username and here is the menu. So now we will try to create one user. Let's click on create. So no authorization to create user. Okay. So test one. Let's see whether it allows to do the password reset or not. Yes, we can do the password reset. So this is the new password generated for this user. Okay, so it's allowed to lock unlock. Yes, system has user has locked. Delete. Yeah, no, the system is not allowing it. This user to delete. So this our GST user is only having access to lock unlock and password reset, not any other entity. Or you can check, just check this tabs, this flags. So likewise, you can check. Okay, Mahesh? Hello?
Yeah.
Do you have any another scenario so that we can create role and then test if you want? Maybe you need to move in your mind. So in this way we can just click. So here you can see status is in yellow in PFCG because
Mhm.
one of the authorization object is open.
Yes.
That's why it's in yellow. Okay. But if you go back and check the PFCG authorization tab, it's in green. Means profile has generated properly. Now we will do one thing. We will remove it and check what happened. Generated status is red. Okay. Now it is okay. So here it's green because it's generated. From this status, you can check whether the authorization object are maintained proper means if it is green means all the values as mentioned in authorization object. Yellow means some non-org value related fields are available. Red means organizational values are not maintained in the row. This is the
Okay.
significance red like the red, yellow, and green. So in this view of PFCG, if you want directly to deactivate authorization object from all these three class, you can directly deactivate, delete, or insert. If you go to status, it will directly ask you if you want to enter star access for all the open authorization objects. It will not for which you already have maintained. Okay. So this was our previously maintained. Okay. So 03 we are having here. Our this P log was open. So now if you check star. So whatever for whatever yellow fields it has mentioned value as star.
Mhm.
If you want to maintain direct value, you can also do that. There is one option to change this view. I need to check what exactly the option. So you can check, you can see our PFCG same as your previous one, ECC system. This is the export. New view as per the SAP GUI, new version of SAP GUI. Need to check that. So here, our role and generated. Here also you can check what are the authorization, how many authorization. Zero maintained, zero org value. So no open field means all the value which are needed in row we have maintained. So zero in org value, zero in profile. So our role has maintained profile. We don't have any open field in our PFCG. So likewise, you can create the role. So these are the steps like in any approach, you can description, workflow, what you can, like I told you, SPWP. So this related access we can add from workflow tab of PFCG. So in the description here, if you want to give like from here you can check who has created this role and what is the description and change last changes so you can get. And if you want to derive any role, then you can maintain the master role in here. In our menu tab, you have creation of folder. Then like if you want to start point root, then you can select folder. Then transaction, you can add it from here. Just go through this. Huh? Then if what is the option for adding transaction like from transport is other option to add the transaction things in the PFCG. So apart from transaction, we have reports, operation object, Fury or Launchpad, PW. That thing also you can maintain from here. Authorization default means your web services you can add. When we will move to Fury, now I will show you what default. Right now it's for ECC, it's transaction is enough. If you want add menu from any other role, so you can copy menu, go to the copy menu, you can select any other role and just add to insert menu from other. In the authorization tab here, change created by, last change, what is the current profile for this, and here you can directly go to change mode. In the export, this is the difference. Like if you go to directly change mode, it takes the default. Like if you added any new transaction, it takes read old status and merge with due data. Means whenever you directly change, click on change. If you want to re-import everything, like recreate profile and authorization, you can select as per your requirement. If you just want to, you have added T code, but you don't want the authorization of authorization update related to that T code in your PSC, then just go to edit old status and generate your role. Okay, then that also suffice. If your work will get done. Here I have given the significance, what is red, yellow, and green. And if you want to add any authorization object additionally, like manually, uh, like if you added ZT code and SU24 has not maintained for that, then you need to add the relevant authorization object manually for that Z custom code. Are you getting this point?
Yes.
In case of PFCG, SC53 also, if user is missing access to any authorization object, and if you want to add a specific means instance for that authorization object, just add that authorization object manually, and you can maintain the value for that. So these are the tabs as per the color, what exactly it means. Like this is the change, display, delete. That way these are available here. And for profile generation, once you generate, then only means whenever you create role, and if you don't generate, there is no meaning of that role. User will not get access to that role. So from here, PFCG. In PFCG, we have role tab. Sorry, user tab. You can directly assign user to role or role to user. In PFCG, we assign user to role. In SC01, we assign role to user. Okay. Once we do the comparison, then only the this authorization data gets fetched to the user's buffer.
Yeah.